Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Melon here, and I'm back for my round 1 match of the Summer Showdown tournament. I'm so hyped for this Surge format, and as you guys can see, or you can't actually see the name, but my first opponent is David Magic from the NPL, so definitely a hype first match. And as you guys can see, that the 6 my opponent decided to bring were the Drapion, the Comfy, the Kecleon, the Acelgor, the Seismitoad, and the Magneton. In the back, he had Chimecho and Blossom. And I definitely think the 6 he brought were the best 6 for him to bring. I wasn't too worried about Chimecho, although Healing Wish could have been a bit of a problem in some situations. But I felt like these 6 were definitely the best he could bring. As you guys can see, you see my draft analysis, you know my other mon is the Cofagrigus that I could bring, but I decided to bring these 6. So first of all, the Wincon is Ribombi. I am Z-Move Ribombi with Quiver Dance, Hidden Power Ground for the Magneton, Roost, and Moonblast with Ferium Z. So it's going to be really, really hype. I do not need much on his team to actually win this match. I'm expecting something to be very Spadef or have a berry or something for my Ribombi, because there is not a lot on his team that is going to be able to beat it. I'm expecting lots and lots of super effective moves, so Ribombi can't set up on it, but I do have some bulk, so I can set up on certain threats. Next up is Blissey, very standard Blissey. I've got Stealth, Rocks, Toxic, Soft Boiled, and Seismic Toss. It's just a very standard Blissey. It walls like half his team. If he's not offensive Seismitoad, it walls with that. If he's not offensive Kecleon, it walls with that. It walls the Magneton. It walls the Comfey. Although there are some, if he's like sub Calm Mind Comfey, that potentially can beat me, but it's going to be very tough for him. And Drapion beats me as well. Although if it is more of a bulky Drapion, then it probably doesn't either, so that's really nice. Next up is Electivire. I Apple Berry, Power Up Punch, Electivire with 4 moves. I'm Power Up Punch, Ice Punch, EQ, and Wild Charge. So definitely really nice. Just hits his team really, really well. Apple Berry works really nicely for being able to take 2 hits from a lot of things on his team. Also, it allows me to take a hit, then go into Wild Charge range and like take the recoil from Wild Charge and get back out of range or something. And just allows me to take more hits from that Magneton, which is a bit of a threat because although Blissey walls it, it just gives him a lot of momentum every time it comes in, and Electivire is there to stop that. Flash Cannon doesn't do too much to me. I am adamant because it means I can one-shot Acelgor much better, and I Twikio like most things on his team, like the Drapion and stuff like that. So next up is my Prinplup. This is my Defogger because he did have an Acelgor. I had to bring a Defogger this week. Didn't really feel like I had an option. I also wanted to have something to hit Seismitoad, so I am Scold, Grass Knot, Toxic, and Defog. I like Toxic on this team just because like toxicing things with sub for my Blissey is really, really nice. So next up is Honchkrow. I am Scarfed. This thing is amazing, this matchup. I outspeed the Magneton, and Superpower takes out the Magneton, which is really nice, and then Brave Bird literally hits everything else so hard. If he didn't have the Comfy, this could potentially be another Wincon, but for now it's just going to be a revenge killer because Comfy can just come in straight away afterwards and do a butt ton with Triage boosted Draining Kiss, which basically means that he has priority. So next up is my Durant, which is my answer to the Comfy because Comfy is such a threat to my team. I have enough attack investment. I'm Swarm because I don't want to be missing those Iron Heads. I'm Swarm. I don't care. I'm not missing an Iron Head and losing because of that. So I have enough attack investment to 2-hit KO a physically defensive Comfy. Then I have max HP and the rest in Spadef and I'm Assault Vest, so I can take Draining Kisses really nicely. Hidden Power Fire, I live from a Magneton without rocks up, and I also live a Hidden Power Fire from a Comfy. If he's modest, max a special attack +1, he doesn't kill, he kills me with Hidden Power Fire, which is the only problemo, but I am going to outspeed him and get a huge hit off. So looking at the leads, I'm either expecting him to lead with the Acelgor, the Seismitoad, or the Kecleon. Rocks is really nice for him this game, considering Ribombi is such a threat and Honchkrow is such a threat, and both of them take 25% from Rocks. I expect him to want to get Rocks or Hazards up this game. However, I could see him leading with the Acelgor the most, because I could also lead with my Prinplup or my Blissey, and he could Final Gambit, one of those, not the Blissey, but the Prinplup, or he can Energy Bullet or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my Evire, as my opponent does lead with the, let's go back here, as my opponent does lead with the Acelgor, and I lead with Chief the Evire. So I'm just going to fire off a Wild Charge here, as he unfortunately gets a crit with that Bug Buzz. It doesn't seem like it matters, but basically what would have happened if he hadn't got the crit is the Wild Charge damage would have put me in my Apple Berry range, and I would have been out of range of the next one. But as you're going to see, Wild Charge now puts me in range for the Bug Buzz, so that is going to take me out. So now here's a bit of an interesting turn. So the Bug Buzz is going to take me out, which is a bit unfortunate from the Electivire. This is a bit unfortunate No, what am I saying? So now this is an interesting turn, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out into my Scarf Honchkrow. I want to know how much speed he has in this. I want to know if he's a sped crept for a Scarfer, because if he's sped crept for the Scarfer, the likelihood is he may not have another Scarfer himself. He still might, but the likelihood is he might not, because he's gone to outspeed his Scarfers with the Aselgor. So the reason I make this play, because although Bug Buzz is not going to take me out, it's going to do a lot of damage though. In the back of his mind, I could for sure be going for Sucker Punch here, so he may want to get a Spike Up or get a Toxic off or something like that. So I'm going to go for the Brave Bird here, see that he does outspeed me, and I'm going to go for that Brave Bird and take him out. So he doesn't know I'm Scarf, which is really, really nice. And it looks like I'm playing like a god. So I get +1 attack here, it doesn't matter because he can just go into his Magneton, which definitely tells me that this thing is scarfed. So now the Evire's gone, he's going to be getting a lot of momentum with his Magneton, which is a bit of a problem. But it's nice, definitely nice that Aselgor is out of the way, nothing outspeeds my Ribombee anymore. So he's going to go into his Toad. This tells me this is probably going to be offensive Toad to be able to deal with my Blissey. So I'm going to go straight out into my Primplop, the Happy Feet. I can definitely take any fighting move, Superpower or Drain Punch from this thing, as it goes for the sub, interestingly enough. So you see leftovers, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to fire off the Grass Knot, break the sub, scare this thing out. He goes for Scold though, and that reveals that it is not offensive Seismitoad, unless he is max attack Scold, which would be a bit weird. I doubt that. So I'm going for Grass Knot here, and he's defensive Seismitoad, so Blissey can stall this thing out. I'm going to get my Rocks up now, as I expected him to switch out actually into his Magneton, but decides to go out into the Kecleon. No, I get my Defog up, sorry, this is not my Rocker. As I get Defog off, as he goes out into his Kecleon. So now this is a bit troublesome for me. I really don't have much to switch into this Kecleon. I'm just going to fire off a Scold here. I'm going to go for the Toxic as my opponent goes for the Substitute. Did not expect the sub on this thing, definitely a lot of prep for the Blissey on my opponent's part, as now I'm seeing this thing has a Drain Punch, and it's slightly more offensive, so maybe this is the thing that's going to be able to take on my Blissey more so than anything else. I'm going to go for Scalds. I'm going to be able to break the sub. If I hadn't break the sub and he was like more Spadef, then on the next couple of turns I would have broken the sub because of the Torrent boost that I would have got. So absolutely fine there. I just need to make sure this thing does not get defined sub, as my opponent is just going to keep subbing here, basically just trying to get me in range of the Drain Punch, so there's no chance of a Scald Burn, which is definitely fair enough, as now he's going to go for the Drain Punch, and this one is going to be able to take me out. I believe it was a roll, but definitely in his favor, so that's absolutely fine. I can go out into my Honchkrow now, and I'm just going to fire off the Superpower, expecting him to go out into the Magneton. If he doesn't go into the Magneton, I kill the Kecleon anyway. But Higo reveals the Shadow Sneak, as I'm going to fire off the Superpower. Really cool tech for my opponent. And basically puts me in a tricky situation, because in his eyes I'm either going to go for the Brave Bird here, or I'm going to switch out into something because I'm Scarfed, because he doesn't know that I'm not Scarfed here. In my eyes he has to go Magneton here. It just makes the most sense for him to go Magneton. I'm not sure how much this Kecleon can really do to me with the Drain Punch. It's not going to be able to take me out. I'm in the back, I need to make a play, so I'm just going to fire off the Superpower here, expecting him to go out into the Magneton, and unfortunately he goes straight out into the Magneton, and you guys are going to see that this Magneton just drops, and that is so good for me, because it means that my Blissey is not just going to be a momentum user in his favor, and Magneton does not just pull momentum like right back for him. So he's going to go out into his Comfy. I'm going to go out into my check to this, which is the Durant, and I take absolutely nothing. I've got like 43 Spadef, and I took 17% from that Draining Kiss. As I'm going to go for the Energy Ball, expecting him actually to go out into his Seismitoad, but decides to sack off his Kecleon. I guess he thought maybe I'd be Hustle and miss, but I'm not Hustle. Like I said, I am Swarm, so there's no chance of me missing that. As he does go into the Seismitoad now, I can't let this thing do damage to my Durant, because I need it for the Comfy to ensure that I beat the Comfy. So I'm going to add to my Blissey, and this is going to get a bit stally. Basically what it's going to be is me being a bit silly, because what you guys are going to see here is I've seen Sub, Drain Punch, and Scald, which means I'm thinking he has one move left, and I'm thinking it's a Sludge Wave for my Ribombee, but he reveals Rocks, and it just didn't quite click in my head that that means he can't touch my Ribombee. Like one bit. It literally just didn't click in my head. So a little bit unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world, because what's going to happen here is I'm deciding that I'm going to try and stall him out of substitutes so I can ensure get a Toxic off on this Seismitoad and take it out, and then from there I can definitely beat Comfy and the Drapion with the rest of my team. But I could just go out into my Ribombee at any time. He's basically kind of realizing what I'm going to do, and he's basically going to try and make some plays. So, but he never wins it. I always stall him out of substitutes. So I'm going to skip to turn 43 as he goes for a Drain Punch here. I'm going to go for a Softball, get my Blissey back up nice and healthy, so that I can So I can still beat the Comfy 1v1 if it doesn't have substitute. And now I'm going to go out into my Bromby, finally realizing that I can just set up on this thing. I do have the Roost. As he goes for the Drain Punch, that does nothing to me. I have a little bit of bulk and I 4 times resist it, so it's like nothing. I go for the Quiver Dance, and his only other move is Scald to hit me, and my Spadef is going to be getting higher and higher. Luckily, he doesn't get the burns. Luckily for me, he doesn't get the burns. I'm going to Quiver Dance again here, just to make things a little bit quicker. If he got a crit here, that would have been really bad, but I'm basically relying on him not getting the crit. And right here, I'm just going to go ahead and Roost up, and luckily there are no crits along the way, as it's 22%, as he's not getting the burn here, which is really nice for me. It makes the whole process a bit quicker. I need to get to +4 to be able to one-shot any variant of the Comfy, and I'm finding it very unlikely that he is going to be max Spadef, but you never know, just in case. There's no way Comfy beats me at +4. And it also guarantees that I'm going to be able to take out any variant of Drapion, even max Spadef, Assault Vest variant with my Z move. So that's basically the game plan. I'm sure I'm going to be able to take out this Seismitoad, so I'm going to Roost up just in case anything funky happens. I don't want him getting a crit Triage, Draining Kiss on me, and being able to take me out, although my Durant will probably be able to take him out anyways. So that is basically going to be the game against David, and we are advancing to round 2, where I have an updated draft. In fact, I can, guys, tell you what my updated draft is right now, because this is late, and I'm sorry. But my updated draft is, as I'm just going to fire off a big old Z move here against the Drapion, is I dropped my Durant and my Electivire. I know they both put in a ton of work. Durant especially was actually really key to this game. Like, Comfy would have been such a problem, and I really enjoyed prepping with it. But I picked up Feraligatr and Lucario, so I feel like that's a very good swap for Electivire and Durant. I did get 10 more points, but I think that's really nice. I added up to exactly 13, and I got 10 more points. That made 23, and Feraligatr was 11 and Lucario was 12, so really nice. I've used Feraligatr in a tournament before. It was the GPC tournament, actually, that I just played in for fun, and it was amazing. So hopefully I can do the same thing. I know it's not quite as good as it used to be, but I haven't seen it used in the format for ages, and I loved using it before. So I think for sure I'm going to have fun with the Feraligatr. Lucario is something I used once, and I mean like literally once, and it seemed pretty good, but people have been raving about it, and I want to try it, and I think fighting Stab's going to be really cool. So that is going to be all for me today, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Make sure you stay tuned for the next battle. I'm going to be doing these post-com. I don't normally do post-com, so hopefully this was fine. Yeah, hopefully this was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you just would be like, no, Melon, just do live com. Stop being a bitch. Like, we like...